I'm Ghost.
Okay.
This is Jay.
As in Jason.
Yeah.
Okay, and which part of Dublin are you from?
We're originally from Tala. But we're from Templeogue now. We're still Tala, man.
One of your songs is about the Tala too. You want to talk a bit about that?
Tala too, yeah. It's about two guys that were 1914 to us. They were supposed to rob the car, but the evidence was a bit flawed against them. And there was a miscarriage of justice without a doubt, but of course it's all covered up. It's like everything else, I mean. Like the girl for the 4 case,
So what was the outcome?
They served 5 years. 5 years in servitude.
And they're still there?
But no, they're out now. Yeah, they're out now. But they have an appeal in again. See that? Yeah, that's right. Have an appeal in to try and get the case reopened. The guy that's running for the guy that it happened to, like his car was robbed. He's running for a politician now. So if that song comes out, I can imagine we'll be hung. I can imagine.
Have the Tala two themselves heard the song?
Yeah.
What did they say about it?
They'll sue us.
They what?
They'll sue us. They said, I swear to God.
Oh
if it comes out because they think that we're putting our finger on too many people. Like, the outcome that like we are blaming the guards and all, where there's no proof that they done it. You know what I mean? It's like a read between the lines. And you can.
Right. But it seems like a lot of people here are very scared. Like when I mention a lot of times, like about Northern Ireland, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, we don't want to talk about it.
It's stupid. Like it's our country, and that's the long and the short. Like it's Ian Paisley's country as well. Like down here is his, there is ours. He came down here now. I'm not sure you know about that. And he's going to America and all that, but he came down here himself and Peter Robinson, okay? And Peter Robinson was arrested, and Ian Paisley refused to drink water in the Republic of Ireland. So he went up the north, and he got water, tap water from the north of Ireland, and brought it down to Limerick prison to give to Peter Robinson. That's how bigoted they are. And like Republicans as we are, we would never like turn our back on them or nothing like that. But they are. It's a different breed of people.
Do you talk about it in any of the songs?
We do. We have it. They're not out at the moment because money is. But we have it. Yeah.
But do you talk about Northern Ireland? What's going on?
Yeah.
Which songs?
They're not on that now at the moment, but we have songs. But like they're not recording at the moment, but we have them.
Right. So
the bottom line is that, like, an unprecedented appeal to the Irish people as such to face up to the challenge of British rule in Ireland. I mean, I started to claim that like British politicians are not the Irish people, are the root cause of division and conflict in this country.
Yeah.
It's not the Irish that are at fault. And soon England realised, like, the only reason that the gun is not in the 26 counties anymore is Britain left. That's the only reason. We're still walking the streets of Dublin. Dublin will be the same as the north, and that's the proof of it.
Yeah. I've heard some people criticise Marksmen, saying that they've just sort of been set up, and that's like more like the record label sort of cashed in on the whole idea. What do you think? You know, like to say, look, these guys would be great, rap music, you know, sort of the revolutionary music would just make sense to have people rapping about Northern Ireland.
I don't think Marksmen don't really have much of a right to really as such, even though one of them is descended from Ireland. Even though, like me myself, I'm not from Belfast, and probably better someone from Belfast doing it, but
right.
If there's not.
They are born in England, right, both of them? And then two are from West Indies, is it?
One of them, the white guy rapper, he's from where?
No, I think he's from Ballybock or something.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, down in Fairview.
Well, how come he has such a strong English accent when he raps?
He's there all the time.
So he was like moved over when he was 2 or something, was that?
He's there now, and all of a sudden he's Irish.
Yeah.
Like they should either like. No one knows where they stand regarding the situation. I mean, like, they're talking to Jerry Adams. I mean, they don't support the IRA and they don't do nothing. They don't know where they stand.
Yeah.
I think they just use it as
it's just a gimmick.
Just use it as a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's what I was told then.
That's all it is.
Yeah. No, thanks. So anyway, regarding you know, the rap scene in Ireland, it seems like to do it like you guys are doing it, you really have to be dedicated, because it isn't like any night of the week you can go to a choice of rap clubs for live bands, open mic, or like, you know, just to dance to non-stop hip-hop.
It's not like America at all,
no.
by no means.
So what do you do? I mean, where do you hear hip-hop? Is there a radio show?
Record player. That's the only player. Well, there's once a week there's a radio show, but rather not mention.
Which one?
They don't
I think Sunset One Chaos, but I think that's gone now. I think they took that off the air. Like, that was the only radio rap show, but at the same time it was all gangster rap anyway. was all that type of mainstream stuff.
It was all American rap then.
There's no.
Is the English rap popular over here?
No.
There was a time it was good.
English rap's very hard to get into, especially if someone's only getting into rap. Like English rap is not the first thing you'd listen to.
To try too hard to be too hard, if you know what I mean. That's my opinion. Anyway.
Right.
You know, there's very few good ones.
I know, like, was it 3 years ago? I was over in Australia and I was doing a story then on Australian rap, and it was sort of in its infancy stages where everybody in Sydney was trying to sound like they were from the Bronx. And I was thinking, and it was like, when you go there, it's really disappointing because you think, why don't they just be themselves? Do you think that's fair to say about like Irish rappers to date? You know, most of them.
Yeah, most of them.
Like that band we were talking about.
Well, Scary Air now, they were the first rap group to ever come out like that, really. Ireland, to say like we're pure Irish, like, and get rid of all the gangsters. You know what I mean? That's the way they are. Isn't it?
We've no time for gangster.
So what is it that makes you guys distinctly Irish or distinctly different from anybody?
So we just do stuff about real life situations, what happens in Ireland, like to tell it to and about Irish life, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
we don't go over the top of it. Just basic everyday living Ireland.
In terms of sampling or whatever in the music or instrumentation, if you use any besides beats and records, what is it?
Well, we usually deal up to mech, although we'd suss out the samples and all that and sample the normal. Like,
Both of you rap, right?
No, he's the DJ.
Okay, you're the DJ and you don't do any rapping at all?
no.
Okay. And you write everything?
Yeah.
Right. But you use mech then?
Yeah.
Mech
Producers.
He's supposed to be really wonderful on the turntables. Yeah. He won the DMC a few times, though, right?
No, he came 11th
In the World Championships.
The World Championships, yeah. So he won the DMC here.
Yeah.
Forever.
Well, like, I don't know, like, what we do without him in a way, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
as producers and stuff, like, because he helped us a lot, you know what I mean? He came a lot way himself.
So there's sort of a certain like little network of sort of support group then.
Yeah.
Hard to win because like it's so small. Like, I mean, like I suppose like no one's prepared to anybody. You know.
But how come there isn't more rappers? You think, you know, it would seem like the obvious thing, and also it's so easy. Like in the punk days, anyone could pick up a guitar and, you know, write.
There is. There
is a lot of rap
If you
groups,
stop the couple of blokes here now, maybe just say dressed up in the gear or whatever.
Yeah.
And you say, do you rap? They'd say, yeah. But most of them just you nearly know yourself, like just being NWA type of thing, like.
Right.
Like that, so like just pay no heed to that. Really.
Straight out of English.
Exactly. That's sad now. Like after all this time, like people would have copped on.
Yeah. Actually, you know, Paul was telling me about it. He said that sometimes people from Kerry, he said the guys who put on the Wild, they call themselves cultures with attitude. Is that right? Sort of like a joke, you know, as a joke.
Yeah.
Not like an actual group. So, how many groups would you say there are in Ireland, rap groups?
Less than 5.
Yeah.
Definitely less than 5.
That's known anyway. Yeah.
I've got one, First Council, you, TTB, Scary Era.
Just Like Family. That's Eric's group. They don't really.
What are they called?
Just Like Family.
Just Like
I
Family.
wouldn't even count those what's the name of TT what?
I wouldn't even count them in.
No, nobody knows them. They'd probably be gone now in 3 weeks' time. You probably never hear them again. So if they're around for maybe a year or two, then you might pay some heed.
Yeah.
As you probably know yourself, like this.
What about in Northern Ireland? Is there groups there?
I don't know.
Haven't got a clue.
We've only ever come in contact with Northern Ireland once at the DMC. They came down here, just the DJs, but there was no. Presume there is, like.
Yeah.
It'd be very hard for them, especially coming from the national side of things, to speak their mind. As you know yourself, like.
Right.
It'd be very hard for them to come out and say what they want.
When did you guys get together, like as a group?
About 5 years ago. 4 years ago.
Really?
6 years ago.
6 years ago. So you must be one of the early ones then.
Yeah. And we're down from the start, really.
The way we started out, like back then, like it was, like we're into it since the early days, about '84, like when we hit here really, like message and all that. About probably a year or two after that, we really got into it, and we didn't really know each other, but we were into it. Like then we met up. We were always such the old school mentality, like you had to pay your dues and you couldn't hop in, you had to know what you were doing, like, if you know what I mean. So we took time to build up and just get a bit of knowledge. And now we're here, we're no further on. We were a bit further on, but nothing's fucking happening.
So what's happening with, like, you're gonna put out an EP, right?
Yeah. The Scary Air is going to help us do that.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
So is it, what label will it come out on?
We can put it out ourselves.
You will? What? So it's going to be hard for you to get airplay because seems like Dave Fanning doesn't really play much hip hop, does he?
No.
That'll be okay. We'll just circulating with people who
Like especially our stuff, like it's bad enough people listen to all like gangster rap, but our stuff is so like it's like
we
it's
never really go over 110 beats a minute. That could be
keep low.
down. We just like the slow stuff. It's okay.
Clubby beats and it's serious, so like it's not a thing that you hear on the radio, really. You know what I mean? It's just a rap thing.
Maybe a select few of that we really like. So we'll never make money out of it.
So do you listen, when you listen to music, do you listen to rap non-stop? So like what ones do you listen to now? Like what's the best new releases?
I think at the moment rap is really bad.
Yeah.
At the moment.
It's what?
I think it's really bad at the moment.
Do you like Alcoholics?
Yeah. I don't like. I only listen to a certain type, like you said yourself, gangster.
Yeah.
Constantly.
No, you can listen. I mean, they don't get Gangster and Tribe. To me, they just don't get dated.
Yeah.
You know, you can just listen to those. So many.
If we were at home now, if I was at home with his house now when we were playing records, 80% would be old school. That's just.
When you say old school, you mean pre-86?
Slip on probably Many Mel, they go back to the old electro stuff like that. Like,
You know they're all getting back together, and Treacherous 3 got back together too, and they just put out a record, yeah.
Very good. So like,
The old stuff's better.
yeah, it's a lot better.
I would say just so many new groups just coming up. It's like if you could rap, you're signed up. All they can just loads.
Do you like that the Far Side on their album? You know the one, The Return of the B-Boy, that track. You know where there's like the old school.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
roof.
yeah,
You know that one. Yeah, I love that. So you want to do a little freestyle now?
What I do? Let's see.
Do the after record.
History's picture of Celtic design puts a label on this land, an image of time. Time has arisen, finally arrived. History we live in has become modernized. Amongst other things, so has our behavior. Respect for the law, blood getting fair. Overcrowded prisons, that's one voice from a crowd of opinions. It's those of terrorism. In Central LA, your life is judged by a rag. We have a similarity in the form of a flag. We blow each other away. Royal Marines versus IRA. Murdering each other in the quest for control. Of a lancer torn apart that has scars on his soul. Due to centuries of murder and killing. But let us not forget it started with an English villain. Stuff like that.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What?
it's star time.
Yo, 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 whack. Yo, 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 whack. Yo, 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 whack. Yo, 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 yo,
Ring a rosy as the lights decline. Like me name is Ronnie Drill, I walk the line, concentrating me mind just to straighten me spine. I stumble when I tumble from the parking and wine. I take a nut little nip, a minute little sip. Anything that won't fit is intravenous on drip. When I speak and I spit like a spray from a ship. You better bring umbrellas, come well equipped, cause I come with a group like I was airing hot soup. There's Ree-Raw Scoop and Jay and Neck in the loop. And Cole's no dispute, he kicks the beat like a boot. Mr. Brown and Dallas Lewis, one time for the truth. So now you know to expect that things are gonna get wrecked. The boxing in the ring, so body's gonna get decked. The last time I checked was when I came to collect. The only way to hit the shit was straight and direct.
I hit the track like like the Tommy Turner video from the home of cheese. So I got the mad crunchy flow. What? I shouldn't rap, fella, shut your mouth. I spitting mad lyrics, new kid on the block from the south. Fellas hearing this, asking who the fuck is he, man? Scoop, small frame, like my name is fucking Wee, man. Shams asking me to kick myself in the head. Fuck that, I kick rings and get respect from the head. I got the call, they must be mistaken and shit, cause I feel like I'm on E4 faking this shit. Standing next to living legends and I'm shaking and shit. And you know some fellas gon' be hating this shit. They're saying he got a big ego, real fucking cocky. I saw him at Doran, small as a fucking jockey. Yeah, that's true, I'm really, really sorry you're pissed. But if you don't appreciate, go back to fucking your fist.
What do you want? 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 The style from the emerald eye, wrecking the mind, ripping rhymes and keeping the head high. With the back of the bog where the cats chase the dogs, and noggins getting clobbering for gobbing to the hogs. I've been flying rhymes since before it took off. Couldn't be shook off, take that look off and fuck off. We raw running around, doubling town, bubbling now. All sound, no trouble about. Fucking around for the laugh, and so far it's gas. Pass the grass fast and give us the blast of that. The mic rattle like a Gatling gun, battling guns. How we hear it from Tallaght to Ballymun, yo. You wanna chase it like a bird in the stalk, but you got further to walk than the courage to talk. You're gonna talk the talk when you wanna be wine. Ghost and Jay still storming the barn. Go on. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What the fucking hell do you want?
Lovely music there.
What?
I can't find the LP now to tell you who it is. But all I know is this lovely music.